Thank you very much. I must confess that, in the run-up to this conversation, I've had the most awesome last 2 hours. And, I'm going to actually change some of this setup and, request my panelists to speak more. Just to give you a quick context, right, I'm going to state some of the obvious points. Innovation is being replicated faster than ever. People are, just copying stuff and being able to present it. Therefore, all of us know that CX has become the only core differentiator that really a brand, is able to maintain across time. From that perspective, what does right a brand manager or a CMO do really? And from the topic that we have today, and I'm going to throw that question right at all three of them, and request the three of them to actually give their own perspective. And mind you, it's very, very different. So I know a little bit more than you folks. So please, listen carefully. Also, I would say that I want to set up some context. I think there are four elements as you hear the panelists speak about their insights and experience. One, you should look at time, right? There is an element of both my channel and my customer being simultaneously, time starved and wanting everything real time, right? The second element is similarly info, right, or information. So we are very hungry for information, but we also want it bite-sized. If you look at engagement, right, when the brand wants to engage with us or there is a contact with the brand, right, whether digital, physical, or in any manner, we want that contact to be very, very context specific. I'm looking for something to buy, or I want to find the best price, whatever is that contact, right? And at the same time, we wish that the brand engages with us in a very personalized way. Now, if you look at this, dichotomy that consumers exist, and eventually I'll speak about liquid experiences also because that came across. But if you just look at these 3 points and think about the question that how does really a CMO or a brand owner use AI-powered CPaaS solutions today so that at every contact they are able to really differentiate, right? And make it a delightful experience, an effective experience, and very critically, an efficient experience, right? So I'm going to turn that question and I'm going to request Alok to share your thoughts, and then we will go on further. Alok.
Sure. So I had marketing at Orient Belt Tiles, and by default, tiles category mein, why are you talking of CPaaS and all that? But today the consumer, whether he's on Netflix or buying a product once or twice in a lifetime, like tiles, his expectation is no different. So you have to understand him and deliver him the same experience, whether it's on Netflix or on Amazon or on a hardware store where he's possibly buying tiles. And that is some journey for the organization to travel. But if you've traveled that, then you can start delighting the consumer. Now, so if there are approximately 50,000 people coming on Google to search for tiles every day. These are new people. So when they search us, they will find orientbell.com on the top. They might browse 2 or 3 pages, typically. When they browse, they can put in their PIN code, and I can customize the website for products available at that PIN code. I can customize it to the price that they will see. This is the market operating price I'm talking of, not the MRP. They can see recommended by tiles as well. So assuming that this is the first time they've come onto a website and it's a cold start, and this is Netflix cold start problem, they can understand there is a specific way that we will show tiles. Depending on his browsing, his future browsing will change. We will show recommended by tiles as well. He browses 2-3 tiles and leaves a lead form. The call center will say, sir, you were looking for white tiles for your living room. How can I help you? Now, this is how it will go. We will help him design, if he sends us a picture of the living room, uske living room mein tiles laga ke dikha denge. We can give him options in a video walkthrough. We will also communicate the same to our dealer, because finally the dealer will deliver it. I think, there was a doctor in Medanta Hospital who went through this experience, and he was thrilled. He didn't want to believe the dealer. He was loyal to us. Now, as a challenger brand, this is what we are looking for. So we are looking for people to engage with us, find the experience easy, delightful, personalized, and then basically recommend us to every other friend and relative, saying कि यार Orient Bell में खरीद ले, अच्छा experience है. And that is how we get it. And because loyalty for me cannot be a reward point. People are buying twice in a lifetime. So it's an outcome. So advocacy for me is an outcome. And that roughly is the summary. Ashish?
Yeah. And before Ashish goes, let me just share, two interesting data points that I probably learned just an hour back. Just like a person actually buys probably tiles twice in a lifetime, that's what you told
Max, twice in a lifetime.
Right. Ashish also shared that, typically people go through average person goes through a major operation only twice in a lifetime. But that's exactly where the similarity of the two categories ends, right? So, Ashish, over to you.
First of all, sir, we could have left out the competition name. So, okay. And see, to start with, I'm saying I'll answer the AI version first. And why I'm going to answer it first is because at core, now your healthcare report will be similar to mine or anyone else, even in your families. You will have personalization to the core in terms of saying that my report, all my markers will be very, very different. So the entire journey of your medical journey also is very different. So every data point needs to get connected, and that is a scale that can only be managed at that level. Thus, the requirement of utilization and working with the newer technologies become much more important for a category like us.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And then I think we were talking about CTVS in the earlier one. And for me, then CPaaS becomes those TV channels. That you know where the flow is going to go from. And if they are looking for filling the top of the funnel, then the conversation for me become how many delivered, how many opened, how many left came to the website. So that's in nutshell what both of them adds to healthcare.
Awesome. And, before I go to Sundar, just a small follow-up for you. Do you find a huge difference when there is a, major operation versus when there is OPD?
Where there's a major operation and an OPD.
Versus an OPD.
No, so I'll tell you, of course, yes, the minute you are told that you need to be operated, you just lose out everything. It's like a curtain in front of you when you're only thinking about yourself. So imagine how much of stress you are when you are a patient. OPDs, yes, because anything relevant to our healthcare, the first thing that comes to us is stress. So in that case, that's why a lot of sorry, I'm extending. A lot of people ask me why do healthcare needs marketing? The only reason for this is because it's the only category which is you making a decision under a lot of stress. So thus the marketing more so is much more required.
Interesting. I think, given the current tile process, that is also making a decision under stress, as we understand. But
Yeah, absolutely. It's a pain. I don't know how many of you have bought a tile, but you would typically think, yaar, वापस नहीं करना. And that's the problem we are trying to solve, to make tile buying easy. Sorry, Ashish.
First problem is, buy क्या करना है?
Ha, bilkul. So literally, leave it to us, we'll help you.
so I'm going to actually swing now. So we heard, a traditional old product. We heard something which is, absolutely critical and crucial and for each one of us as individuals. Let's hear from a provider, right? And, Sundar, would love to hear your views on, how does share of wallet? How does brand advocacy, how does loyalty work? What's your thought on that?
Absolutely. I think one of the big delights in my career is to hear lovely stories like this. And as a student of marketing, I think it's a delight also to work with so many brands. Many of them are in the audience about how they can create the journeys. But one thing I must say that when I actually was thinking about this panel, I was saying, oh my God, these two guys are going to tell things which are so desperate, right? But the number of similarities are very, very high. And that is what we see with every category. So if I just go back to the kind of, the impact that this has, the CPaaS industry has on different types of loyalties, like how do you sort of make it from loyalty to advocacy, etc. One is the paid loyalty, right? Everybody has a loyalty program that you're running. The more people buy, the more people get rewarded. So we will leave that out of the discussion because that is not something that is, I think that's a problem which has been solved. There's nothing. But the unpaid loyalty, which is what is coming up very, very interesting to us, is something that we are seeing very well. So just to give you an example, today you can, all of us would have had this experience that you go to Instagram, right? And there are these niche brands of clothing, education courses, things that are to do with, home maintenance, which are very specific, right? And they are able to create an entire journey from awareness all the way up to advocacy, of course, making the payment, buying it for yourself, make it a recommendatory engine, everything done completely on a WhatsApp journey. You don't have to go to any app and download it and use it and reuse it. You just can create this whole loyalty with actually being able to engage the customer with great content on a CPaaS platform. I think that is one way to probably start off this discussion and one example, and I'm in the course of time definitely share more of them. So simplicity and ensuring that you're keeping it engaged continuously.
Sure. I'm going to come back to you right now and ask you the question around, for the one of the big ticket items that we, even we heard earlier in the day that, this particular medium doesn't give it to the full-fledged, awareness generation, right to advocacy kind of a setup, right? And CPaaS does. Now, in your view, what have you seen as some of your best brands measure as the ROI, because, which is attributable to CPaaS and AI-driven CPaaS to that matter?
Right.
What would you say is the answer to that?
So one clear metric that is there and which is, I think, the ultimate test of any marketing effort is revenues. So clearly seeing that you are able to get more revenues, getting more revenues from two sources. One is actually acquiring more consumers. So when you have a CPaaS engagement where you are able to say, okay, so let's say you're selling a credit card. Can you sell it to send one more credit card to somebody else in the family? Looking at, the way you're contextually communicating. The second one is actually doing upsell and cross-sell. Simply because you know that, you know that you are able to sell one product, and with that comes bundled several other products. So in a very simple, what Alok was just saying about the way the tiles are recommended, the same thing can be built on a CPaaS platform. So yes, there are examples of a bank, really skyrocketing its credit card sales in one of our favorite credit cards. I think unfortunately we can't name them, but they have built a very solid loyalty program without calling it a loyalty program. And the other one, which is about really upselling and cross-selling, is about being able to sell a portfolio of product for a gymnasium company. It's one of India's leading gym chains, which has been able to sell one product and then ensuring that you are able to upsell with more products, more services, and other allied services very, very seamlessly, completely driven out of a CPaaS platform.
And broadly, both these organizations agree that, the AI-driven CPaaS has a strong role if not, it's 100% attributed for this success?
Yes, for sure. I mean, the only exception I would make is the product definition and the product consumption, which is you have to get it right. I mean, you can't sell bad tiles with the best CPaaS.
Yeah.
Right? So when I used to work in my earlier organization, which was to do with how can you improve the quality of a photograph, we used to say the only thing that cannot be done is that if you take a bad picture, I don't think our software can help. So same thing, I think here, if you've taken a bad campaign, I don't think you can sustain it. I must say that these products are strong, but the way they have been able to very seamlessly gauge and contextually message to people, I think that has worked very well for them.
Awesome. And just to take that thing forward,
He made it so simple by saying that the only KPI to measure is revenue. I think very soon, if that's going to happen and that's simple, we'll be out of our jobs. Sorry.
no. I think on that note, right, I'm just going to make the point that CPaaS, while it can't solve a bad campaign, it can spot one and definitely get the CMO to pull it out back, right? So I think from that perspective, that AI-driven CPaaS is useful. But shifting, Ashish, back to you in terms of absolutely revenue, and I think all of us kind of struggle with that attribution, right? We don't know which part of advertising, which part of customer spending is working, not working. That's been an age-old debate. I think we've solved it to some extent. But what would you say is an alternative measure, or what would you say is a different measure than that?
See, it should first start with engagement. If it is, the minute it is not relevant, it's out of conversation. And if you're not able to segment or cohorts, if you're not able to identify the right cohorts for you to reach out, then as much as AI can't help you, all the right channels can't help you. So I will still say, at the pace of it, if your data segmentation is correct, so start with engagement. All
Okay.
these, I know we hate all of these, saying that yaar, mera click-through rate nahi hai, mera open rate nahi hai. It is required because down funnel will not work out after that.
So you're saying that unless there is active engagement which is higher than my previous average, is that what you're
Previous
saying?
or is actually, it's almost there as your average, because you're trying to do something which is very, very personalized to you.
Okay.
And if that is not working out, is not giving you as a better return than what at a normal or a regular, or let's say SCM level it works for you, then you've not segmented the right consumer inside, and that user doesn't need what you're showing.
Awesome. Alok, I know that, you started your conversation by saying that we are a challenger brand, right? For a challenger brand, this AI-powered, frugal, effective, efficient, delightful experience which takes away all the pain, how would you measure it? How would you classify?
Yeah, so it's got to be horses for courses. So, for different touch points, you will have different measures. So we have an app think of a tile store. And as a challenger brand, we have few walk-ins than, let's say, the market leader. So we had an AI app to customize video walkthroughs for various walk-ins. Now, because of using this solution, our conversions doubled. So that's one metric. On the other hand, when people experience our website, they're just amazed. And then they visit a competition website, they are like, okay, ye kahan aa gaye hum? That was like Tesla, and this is like a tractor. So I think it's different measures at different touch points. So on a website, I would look at, okay, am I able to extract a lead? Am I able to qualify him? Am I able to convert him? So that's what the measure is. On the other hand, it's conversions. What the retailer tells me is, साहब आपने जो lead भेजी थी ना, उसमें मैं दबा के कमाया. क्यों? Because he earns 5 rupees more. The customer is already sold on to a personalized video, a call center experience. He believes कि इसके लिए तो ज़्यादा पैसा लगेगा. So even the retailer is surprised कि this guy is not haggling for price. He is like, अच्छा sir, deliver हो जाएगा ना? He is already in the awe of experience. So it's so much more easier to convert him. And I think, again, that sentiment or the higher margin is as good a metric, at least to convince my sales team, than anything else.
And you brought it a very interesting point. I'm going to spend one more minute on it. How does the channel react? How does the channel, which is, so-called, this is an old channel, this is, traditional one, how do they react?
So, there are people who don't speak English. There are people who who are never trained on the app. So the app has to be intuitive enough for them to pick it up. And then they just expect it because kahin unhone Amazon try kiya hai, kahin WhatsApp try kiya hai, and they expect all apps to be as good. And then the pushback will be to, let's say, a market leader in a sanitary ware or to a fittings category कि आपके ऐप में ऐसा नहीं होता, उनका ऐप तो इतना अच्छा है. So, truly, even the hardware dealer or any customer is ruthless in his comparison, and the expectation is mind-blowing. So, just to give you an idea, in our app, you can speak, and it will pull out recommendations basis stock and whatnot. But there are dealers who have said stuff like, यार कोई ऐसी डिज़ाइन बना के दो जो बिक जाए, and that just shows the expectations of the customer. ऐसी डिज़ाइन बना के दो जो बिक जाए is as global as it can get, and that's obviously like okay, मैं खुद नहीं बना सकता तो आप क्या बनाएगा?
Awesome. I think we have time for one or maybe two questions. Is that there's a question there? Yeah. Just ask the question. Don't give us the context, and ask it to the whichever panel you want to.
So I can see Mr. Sanjeev, Mr. Ashish, sorry. Mr. Ashish is quite data driven. So I can see you are quite data driven.
Sorry?
You are quite data driven person.
Okay.
Data driven.
So basically you see the data and all. And whereas I prefer someone like creative person. What would you prefer as a CMO in your company, a creative person or a data-driven person?
Well, both the sides of a coin here. You can't choose one over the other. And given the context how marketing is shaping up, there are more data points to see now to arrive at a better consumer insight so that you can drive a better creative. Gone are the days when you were having a very little information about a user and then you were building onto or sitting on top of saying that somebody is a creative genius who's cracked the code and you were able to take it out to millions and they loved it. I'll still say that was gut. Now, if somebody doesn't understand the data right and is not, and then it's the job of the creative person to make it relevant for that person. So I would say both are the side of a coin here.
Awesome. There's one more question. Can we go there?
So the communication trends are evolving very fast. How brands communicate to their target audience, that's evolving really, really fast. So what do you think how the CPaaS companies should evolve and change their services or product? And the second question is, there is a challenge for marketeers as well because the marketing dollars are limited. So how do you think they should think about allocation of their marketing?
So maybe the first question I'll request Sundar to answer, and second maybe I'll request Alok to answer. Yeah.
Yeah, so your first question, which is how does the CPaaS provider really add value? What are the changes they should make? In my opinion, I think when you're talking to a client, you should take on the elephant in the room. Every industry has its own elephant in the room. The biggest challenges that they are facing right now. For example, for a healthcare brand, it is how much can I trust him? Now, trust you can say is common for everyone, but again, here the level of trust that is required, the kind of trust that is there, the opinion that people have about healthcare in general, these are the elephants in the room. So if you can solve that biggest problem through communication, right, and give them more information, which is going to help them make a decision to the consumer, I think that will be the you will become a very valuable partner to your customer. One very quick example, there's a bank which gives loans. So quickly, what is the point? Somebody's applied for a loan, quickly give him the loan. But this bank is not doing it. This bank is deliberately delaying the last disbursement of the loan. Everything is done, you've uploaded your documents, it's been approved, but it has not been disbursed. Typically, these are high value loans that drivers take to buy a truck. Now, this is a very heavy loan, and sometimes that EMI is not really sunk into them. So they actually give them 3 to 4 days to make a decision before they can actually accept the loan. So this is one way where you're communicating to the customer that we really care and we want to build that trust with you. So I think building that trust and taking on that biggest issue on behalf of your customer for their consumers is the key to CPaaS. Otherwise, everything else is commoditized.
Right.
Superb.
So taking on your second question, I think it's a different approach for every brand. I'm sure Ashish's challenges are very different from mine. My budget is approximately his budget divided by 100. So
He's been saying this since morning. I don't know where he's got my budgets.
no, I hope my boss is listening. I think the way I prioritize my budgets is to say the first priority should be on customer experience. So be it the product or the service, that first gets the priority. Unpaid or organic is obviously a higher priority. And this could be PR, this could be SEO, whatever. So whatever is going to continue gets the next priority. And then the third priority is obviously the paid transactional, because that's a function of money. The more you scale it up, you will get returns. Yeah. So I have my team sitting out there, and first of all, a shout out to them. But they are soon going to kill me for this.
Thank you. I think our time is up. Actually, we have gone a little bit beyond, but nevertheless, thank you very much. You've been a lovely panel, and I have learned awesome since morning from all three of you. So superb.
Thank you. Thank you, team.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Jayesh, and thank you to our speakers. I'd like to request you to please step forward for a group photograph. And